Leg 8, Nantucket, which is my favorite place anywhere. So here we are leaving Provincetown, Mass. Putting it in the distance. There were whales all between Provincetown and Cape Cod. It was absolutely beautiful, but we didn't get too many pictures.
So we're coming up on Pollock Rip. We've been motoring for just about the entire trip. There's really no wind to speak of this morning. A couple of moments it blew about 7 knots and we had sails up, but pretty quickly died out. And now as we're approaching the rip, the wind's picking up, but it's right on the nose. It's been kind of a frustrating day. We're going, it's about a 74-mile trip from Provincetown down into Nantucket. And, we're hoping to do some sailing, but the weather gods aren't really helping us out today. So we're coming up on the outer edge of Pollock Rip. Once we red buoy, once we hit it, we're going to make a sharp right turn, head through the very narrow channel into Nantucket Sound and right down to Nantucket.
Here we're passing Great Point Light. This is our picture, but we were pretty far away. This is a picture that I just copied off the internet, which shows Great Point Light a little better. It's a location that is really difficult to get to without an overland vehicle. I've never been, but I really love to go someday.
The entrance to Pollock Rip Channel. Doesn't look so fearsome right now. We're catching it just about an hour before slack. It's about half a knot to a knot running against us. Not too bad.
We've made it to Brand Point Light, which is the entrance to Nantucket Harbor. I couldn't be happier. Here's the seal and the flag for Nantucket. And a little info. Nantucket is located just 30 miles off the coast of Cape Cod, and it feels like its own little world. An ideal one where beaches are always perfectly windswept, the lighthouses are straight out of a postcard, and life goes at a slower pace. Could it be the best island in the world? Well, National Geographic said it was. And you don't need a car on Nantucket. It's too charming for cars. I have to agree with this. Okay, expecting the unexpected. Good morning from Nantucket. This is the far less glamorous side of boat life. We had a clogged head, which is a toilet, on the way from Nantucket yesterday, and we're still dealing with it. We ended up pulling into a slip, so we have a bathroom to use, but it's been a crazy morning. Making pancakes now, and we'll just see how the day goes. This is the less glamorous side, the more realistic one of just yuck living sometimes. I may or may not have had a breakdown about it last night. Here comes Darren with information. This is a typical marine toilet, and this is a typical diagram, although not exactly perfect, of a marine toilet system. Number 3 is where the clog happened. Not our fault, some sort of calcium buildup. Yeah, 3 days. Meanwhile, we carried out, heading out, checking things out, and enjoying the town of Nantucket. Nantucket's also known as the Gray Lady. It took me a while to question why, but it's called the Gray Lady because of the fog. In the early mornings and evening, a thick blanket of fog often covers our shores. But don't worry, we have our fair share of bluebird days and captivating sunsets. And it can be just as beautiful. Some more iconic pictures. Everyone keeps their window boxes meticulous. This is a restaurant we once ate at. This was a duck pond. The day we took a walk up to go get some breakfast at a place called the Wicked Bakery, which was a fantastic recommendation, particularly for these morning muffins, which I've posted about. We stayed at the boat basin, which we normally would never do, but we did because of the toilet issue. And this was the second slip that we were in. It was right across from the famous restaurant Crew, so we got to hear the music and see the really expensive exclusive parties taking place. One morning I ran up to Steps Beach, and another morning Darren and I took the dog there to watch the sunset. And at its fullest peak in earlier July, both sides of this little path have absolutely gorgeous pink and white roses on both sides. I was sorry we missed it. I spent a few minutes meditating at this beach before heading back. And this is one of our favorite farms on Nantucket. I know there's another one and I don't know the name of it, but this one just captured our heart, probably because we're both Ellen Hildebrand fans and she writes a lot about it. They have flowers, they have produce, they have everything you can need for a garden. And Darren walks us through a tour of the store. It is so picture perfect, it's adorable, and everything in there is so fresh and good. Just a little bit more of my farm obsession. Rows and rows of beautiful flowers. It's like a postcard. We passed lettuce, so we had to buy some fresh lettuce. I just think it's so pretty. Many homes actually have gas-lit lanterns at night still. This is the old mill, one of the oldest operating mills in the country. The yarn store, of course. And just a little snippet of the nightlife off Strait Wharf. We were right around the corner from Brant Point, so it was a place that we went to quite frequently with Koji on this trip. Another fantastic recommendation was Flowers on Chestnut. It's just a flower and gift store, but I loved it, absolutely loved it. And this is us heading out to this little spit of land right across the harbor one day. Totally empty, completely beautiful, and we enjoyed a long afternoon, just me, Darren, and Koji, the whole area to ourselves. Sunset at Steps Beach. A spider made a web outside of our boat window. The Bartlett Farm food truck on Main Street in the mornings. The beautiful fog at Smith Point the day we went to Madagat Beach. We finished our trip by heading to the Whaling Museum and taking the rooftop view. This is the rooftop view of the Lemon Press, which has some of the best ice cream I've ever had, ever. This is a little bit more from the rooftop view of the Whaling Museum. And this was our last walk with Koji. I just love this place. This summer destination has dune-backed beaches. It's marked by unpainted, cedar-shingled buildings, many surrounded by manicured lawns. The wharves and cobblestone streets of the town are lined with restaurants, high-end shops, and steepled churches. It was a whaling town. And I love this. The beautiful lands of America. It's a large island off the coast of Nantucket.